Hey guys. First off, Happy New Year. It is now 2011. I cannot believe how time is flying. As you get older, like time is flying by so fast. Can't believe that's 2011. But I'm really excited for what 2011 is gonna bring. 2010 was awesome. It was our second year in business, and it was amazing. I keep saying we like I'm this big company. Me. I went to Destin, Florida, did my very first destination wedding. I had met a bride back, I think it was last February at the Tribune Star Bridal Show. She had said they were getting married in Florida. She kind of joked like, yeah, I'm getting married in Florida. Too bad you can't take my pictures. And I was like, actually. So, I kind of gave her my card and was like, hey, seriously, if you are interested, let me know. And her and her mom called me, and we set up a time to meet at Starbucks. And we met, and within like the first 10 minutes, her mom was like, "I already love you. I already know that I want you to come do her wedding. Like, where do we sign? Let's book you. Let's go." So it was really fun. It was a very cool experience. You can read about the whole experience in a blog post. I'll put the link below. But their family was so warm and welcoming. That was like a huge deal to me. That was the first time I'd ever traveled by myself, like flew by myself, rented a car by myself. Like I'm a very I don't know what the word is, but my mom and dad took care of me, when I was little. So it was kind of surreal, like being around. I kind of felt like a grown up, walking to the airport with my suitcase on wheels pulling behind me, and my sweatpants and hoodie and ponytail. But it was really cool, and I loved the experience. I want to do it again. I definitely want to do another destination wedding this year. Yeah, anywhere. I don't even care. I don't care if it's like in Canada and there's 10 feet of snow on the ground. It's just really cool to travel, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to. So if you or someone you know is getting married this year, let me know. I did have an inquiry for a wedding in Mexico, but I was already booked. It was for 9, 10, 11, um, which actually I think I'd have to look at my list, but guessing, and this is probably like lowballing it, it's probably been more than this. I've had at least 12 inquiries for 9 to 11. My 9 to 11 bride actually booked me back in, I think we met for a consult in July, and then she booked me in August, maybe early September. So basically a year or a little over a year out. So and it sucks that I have to turn all these brides away because some of them I really connect with on the internet. Like when we're emailing back and forth, like sometimes they don't tell me their date right away, so we email back and forth. I'm like, oh, I really want to book this bride. I'm really excited. Like I think we're gonna click. I really want to work with her. And then I find out the date, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it sucks. So if you're getting married 9/11, how about you change your date? But anyways, so there's plenty of vendors out there. Just make sure that if there's someone special that you want, you book early for whatever your date is. So anyway, so going back to 2010, the destination wedding was a big deal. Before that, in January and February, we did 4 bridal shows. That was kind of me launching my business to not the world, but to the area, because up until then, all my business was word of mouth. Everything was through Facebook, or I did someone's pictures, and then they had told their friend about them. Their friend told them, and whoever, and then so pretty much everybody that I booked in 2009 were either friend of a client or friend of a friend, or somehow found me on Facebook. So 2010 was kind of like my year, like breaking out and finding clients and people outside of just my little community, my area. So it was really cool. I met so many cool people. Vendors also, like I met so many cool vendors, some that were just starting out like me, some that had been in the business for a while, that really helped me. So it's really cool. I was really excited I was kind of nervous last year when I first did my first bridal show. It was St. Mary's, just because I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't sure if everybody would welcome me in with open arms, or if they'd be like, oh, who's the new girl, But pretty much everybody welcomed me with open arms. I'm good friends with a lot of them. Some of them, I network with a lot. Like anytime, I'm have a client that's in need of something, and they can do the services. They're the first people I contact. Or if there's a couple of photographers that I really connected with, and if I'm booked, they're one of the first people that I give an address to and say, hey, I'm booked on this day, especially for 9 to 11. But here's a photographer, or a couple of photographers that I know will do as good a job or better than me. So it's just really cool to network with people, and that was one really cool thing at the beginning of the year last year. And then in March, of course, if you remember, we bought the building in downtown Sullivan on the Square. It was a hair salon when we bought the downstairs. And then in July, I believe, no, in June, because it was right before I left for the wedding, I believe. In June or July, I can't remember, but she left her business. She like quit her business or whatever, and it was an empty building. And when we bought it, we had originally planned it was going to be my studio, but probably not for 3 to 4 years, just because I still had a lot of money going out and buying new equipment, and I was still really new to the business. And while I was pretty sure, I know myself pretty well, I'm a pretty confident, not cocky, but confident person. And while I knew that I was pretty sure I was going to succeed in this business, you never know. I mean, the job I had before this, I was pretty sure that I was going to have for 8 or 9 years, and 4.5, 5 years into it, I got laid off. So you just never know for sure, what life's going to bring. And so while I knew I wanted to turn that into a studio, I still kind of was like a little reserved on the idea and thought, let's wait a few years, let's save some money up to when I am ready to remodel it and turn it into my studio. I've got all the money and I can do it exactly how I want. It didn't really work out that way. The tenant left. So it was kind of just like sitting there in this empty building, and it was either, bring in another tenant and have them, sign a contract and then maybe have problems with them and have to get them out, or go ahead and start, what my goal was from the beginning was to have an actual studio and to have an actual place of business and not just do it in my home. With teddy bear wallpaper. So it was a really cool opportunity. Scary, still pretty scary when I got my first gas bill this month. But it's working out awesome. We're not in there quite yet. We've got walls, we've got floors, we've got ceiling, we've got lights, heat, water. We don't have furniture. That's kind of my big problem right now. But once we can get furniture in there and a few other finishing, we still have a few little tasks. The bathroom's not complete yet. The dressing room's not complete yet. And we had a water leak last week. So there's a few little projects that need to be taken care of. But I'm pretty sure that as soon as these 2 next bridal shows, these 2 weekends with bridal shows, once these are over with, other than, like I said, other than meeting with brides through the week, I'm pretty much going to concentrate all my time and energy on the studio, getting it done. I want to have it done and ready to open hopefully in around the end of February, beginning of March. I've got my open house tentatively scheduled. I've got, I don't want to talk about that yet. That was on the bottom of my list. Okay, so let's just go back to 2010. So anyways, yeah. So we bought this studio. We got it going. It's in awesome shape. Next, another cool thing that happened in 2010 was I was interviewed for our local newspaper again. Back in 2009 when I started my business, I don't even know how he found out about me, but there's a guy named Andy. He's at the local Sullivan Daily Times here in Sullivan County, and he had heard about me starting my business out of my home, and that I had got laid off, kind of like, the sad success story or whatever. So he had asked me to come down. I came down and met with him. He did an interview. It was a really cool piece that he did in the paper, just kind of about me, like following my dreams. And when I thought something totally terrible happened when I got laid off, it actually turned into something like amazing that happened. So when he heard that we had bought the building on the Square and that we were in the middle of remodeling it, he had contacted me and was like, hey, can I come by the studio and check it out and do another story on you? I was like, well, yeah, obviously. So he came by. When he came by, I know we didn't have a floor or ceiling. I'm thinking we didn't have walls yet. I'm thinking we had ripped the old walls down. So it was like all exposed brick and some pretty nasty stuff on the other side. So he hasn't seen it for a while, so he'll be shocked whenever he comes back in. But we did have the decal on the window, so he kind of did a cool shot of me next to the door of the studio with my logo on it. And it was just really cool. It was just a small piece in the paper, but it meant a lot to me that the community is like pulling together, and they're totally excited for me to come to the Square. So I am so excited. That's another reason why I want to get it open, because I feel like all these people have been supporting me. And here I am, like, I'm gonna help, bring business back to the Square, and I still haven't got it open yet. So yeah, and then basically, other than that, in 2010, like, my business, it over exceeded anything that I could even imagine. Like, when I started this business, I was like, well, if I get a couple weddings, I really didn't know what to expect when I started the business, because, I had never owned a business before. My parents owned a business when I was younger, but I was like, I don't know, 9, 10, 12, something like that. So, you don't really pay attention to the business side of things when you're that young. So, I never owned a business. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I had a dream of this this thing that I wanted to do, and my husband and I got together, and I said, hey, this is actually before I even got laid off. I said, this is what I want to do. What can I do? What can we do to make this happen? And he basically said, well, you can't quit your job. We need the money. So if you can make the same amount of money at photography as you can your regular job, then you can quit your job. Well, I didn't do that because I was so, I worked a 9 to 5, actually 8:30 to 5, 8:30 to 5 job every day. And when I got home, I didn't feel like going and taking pictures. Like, I had this job where I stood up all day and I was ready to come home and relax, and then on the weekends, we always had stuff going on. So it just never worked out. And then I got laid off, and it was like, we kind of sat down and had another, like, serious conversation, and it was like, I was on unemployment, but it was like, okay, either A, we're going to, you're going to go find a job, whatever you can find, because we need to, you need to have a job, we need to have income coming in, or, you can follow your dream. And so it was kind of like played around with for a few months, and I didn't really, I was kind of lazy and didn't really want to do it, and I just thought it was so much work. And then he got laid off, about 8 months after me. So we were both laid off together at the same time. And it was like, finally, it was like, okay, this is the sign. You have to do, you have to, like, I don't know, I heard it, like, a saying one time, like, can't think of what it was, but something about, like, if you play it safe, you're risking it all, or I can't remember the exact quote. I'll have to look that up and we'll put it below, but, and that was true. Like, that, the only reason why I wouldn't do it is because I was too scared to fail and be a failure. So I, sat back and, just kind of, oh, I can do it, but I really don't want to. But I did want to do it. I just didn't want to be a failure. I didn't want everybody to say, well, I told you couldn't do that, So, but anyways, my business grew. I grew as a person, as you can tell. As you can see, like, I just can't even put it into words how much 2010 meant to me. Every single person that I took pictures for, or even people that, like, I was getting a pedicure one day, and this lady's, like, heard me talking to the lady that owns the business, because she knew me personally, and she knew kind of what I had went through, and she was like, oh wow, that is an amazing story. She was like, I can't believe that you went from getting laid off to now you start your own business and now you're so successful. She's like, give me your card. She was like, I'm going to be, like, a huge promoter for you. And she told me, she was like, I'm going to go tell everybody about you. I have no idea if she has or not, because I don't know who she was, but I mean, that was awesome for that to happen. Like, so many people that I didn't even know existed support me. Like, there's people in my life that I've known 15, 20 years, I could care less about like, they never, call and check on my business. They haven't seen my studio. They haven't, they don't really care, like, it's just something she's doing. But there's people that I have no idea who they are that come up to me when I see them at Walmart or at the Mexican place, and are like, oh, are you the girl that takes pictures? And I'm like, yeah, that would be me. And, they say, oh, wow, that is an amazing story. That, like, really inspired me. So that's so awesome for you guys to do that. Like, that means so much to me more than anything. So, yeah, this thing is like 13 minutes long. I didn't mean for this to be this long. So, okay, really quickly, looking ahead to 2011, I have so many business goals that I want to do. Back when I started this business, actually back before I even started, back when I wanted to start it, and I thought, okay, these are my goals. And I sat down and I wrote, okay, this is what I want to have done by January 1st, 2009. This is what I want to have done by, what's my next one? I think it was like June 15th, 2009. This is what I want to have done by January 2010. And then, of course, now I have one that's then it was January 1st, 2011. And now I've started another one that's January 1st, 2012. And it's so cool to go back, because I kind of forgot I even had the list. And then the other day I was cleaning out some paperwork and I found it, and I went through and everything was checked off. And anything that wasn't checked off, it was just because I hadn't seen the list for so long. And I went through and I started checking everything off. And I'm like, wow, I'm like ahead of, like, I was, 6 months early on this. Like, everything that I have put down, I succeeded at. So whether, I don't know, maybe I put little goals for myself down. I don't really know, but I succeeded at everything. And so this year, my husband and I sat down and I kind of did, like, a list of goals. And, of course, he made them, like, not impossible goals, but, he was like, hey, you gotta push yourself. So he made these crazy goals. My dog is shaking. I can hear her. He made this crazy goals, with high expectations, which that's what I love about him. Like, he's a very, like, go-getter, like, I don't know, but, so I have a lot of business goals this year. Some I'll probably share with you guys later, but, what else? Oh, and then I have a lot of personal goals too. My husband and I, something else we did this year is kind of like, he has a goal and I have a goal, something that we want to kind of do together. And then if we do it, if we do each of our goals, then we kind of not really get a prize, but there's, you know, we get to choose something that was really important to us that we want to do. So I probably should tell you guys what my goal is because that would keep me accountable. But I don't want to tell you guys just because then if I see, here I am with the failure thing again. I don't know, if I fail, then there I am a failure. So I might tell you in a couple months. We'll see how that goes. So anyways, also looking ahead to 2011, if you didn't get the newsletter, you need to sign up. I think you can sign right there, up there. You can sign up there. You can sign up from my Facebook page. You can sign up from, I don't think you can sign up from my website. But anyways, you can sign up for the newsletter. Definitely get it. It's something that, my first one was a little, you know, I wasn't really sure what I want to do as far as all the sections and everything of it. I didn't really know what I wanted to cover. But they're going to get better as the months go by. So definitely sign up, and I mean, and I promise I won't spam you. Like, you'll be lucky if you get one a month, because once March, April, and then so on comes, I'll probably be lucky to sit down and have 20 minutes to have a newsletter. So, but a couple of things that I covered, we're going to be having the open house for the studio. Hopefully my tentative is sometime in March, or early April, before my wedding season really kicks into full gear. I'm going to have a VIC party, which is like a very important client party. It's going to be for any client that I've had in the past, well, I guess I'm in my third year. Yeah, any client that I've had in the past 2 years or this coming third year is going to be invited. It's going to be kind of like a VIP thing. It's only going to be for clients. It's kind of like a big thank you party because I would not be where I am today without you guys. I would not have a studio or an office or anything like that without you guys. So it's just kind of like a big celebration, thanking you guys. Thought my dad wasn't here. Thanking you guys for everything you have done for me, and kind of like paying it forward back to you guys, you know, to show my appreciation to you guys. Some cool stuff that we're going to be doing, we're going to be starting studio sessions, probably sometime this summer. Once we get office furniture and everything in the studio, then I'm actually going to start back in the studio, and doing studio sessions and stuff. So kind of some cool projects I've got going on, that I don't really want to share with you guys yet. I want to wait until I get all the details done. So yeah, tons of projects that I can't wait to share with you guys. Some of them, like I said, was in the newsletter. Some of them I'm kind of keeping under wrap until we get all the details done. So yeah, that's basically it. I really didn't mean for this to be like 20-some minutes. I don't know how long it is. Couple updates really quick in case you didn't get the newsletter, or in case you haven't read the blog recently. There are 2 bridal shows coming up. One this weekend at St. Mary's in Terre Haute. It is January 8th and 9th. You can find out the info in the blog post below this video. It's a Saturday and Sunday show. And then I will be at the bridal show at Vincent's University. It is next Saturday, which is the 16th, and it's just a Sunday show. So if you are a bride, even if you've already booked a lot of your vendors, it's still really cool to come, like especially the VU, and it's free. So I mean, it can't hurt to come. You get some free food, some free cake. You get to meet a lot of vendors. In case there is anybody that you still haven't, you know, wrapped up, like a DJ or, you know, a caterer or whatever, it's cool to come. You can sign up to try and win a free gift. You know, it's just kind of cool to come and check out some stuff. And same with St. Mary's. The one St. Mary's is $10, but all the money, the proceeds go to March of Dimes. So it's for a really good cause. You know, come out, get something to eat, you know, try some cake. And like I said, if there's a couple vendors that you still haven't booked, you've got the opportunity to book them. So it's just a really cool experience. It's just a really cool way to get out and see a lot of the wedding vendors and stuff. So basically that's about it. My puppy is in there on her belly, scratching her back. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, email me. Senior reps, I'm going to be taking applications for senior reps next month. That'll be in the newsletter also. So if you're a senior or know someone that's going to be a senior next year that might want to be in the rep program, I take 1 from each high school. Last year I did 2 from each high school, and I may do that again this year. It just depends. Around here our high schools aren't really big, so it's kind of like 2 or almost kind of too much. So we'll see how that goes. So if you're interested, keep an eye out on the blog and in the newsletter for next month, and it'll have the application process and everything, how you sign up for that. And that is pretty much it. And my dog's barking at me, so that must mean she wants me to get off the computer. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.